amazing things. They hold us up. They support us. They make us strong. But bones have other uses. In the past, bones were thrown by diviners, seeking out the mysteries of the future. Now the bones are cubes, made of plastic or resin, but they still reveal things to us. As they fall from our fingers and rattle across the table, the story becomes clear. Welcome to Bone Throwers Theater, an RPG actual play podcast.
Hello, and welcome back to Bone Throwers Theater. This is Johnny playing Chine. North.
This is Ellie playing Archi.
This is Jeff playing Jerr. What are you doing, Lan?
This is Jeremy playing Julian, Friday Night Smackdown, Illix.
This is Aaron playing Sam. I still haven't done anything wrong. Feluge.
Obviously, you guys don't need me anymore, but I'm Jordan.
He's got a point.
And you say we created enough conflict on our own without you?
Alright, so what do we want to do next?
So, Julian last time grabbed a canister and started going down the hall to find...
Well, I grabbed the canister and shouted, "Where's Archie?"
Oh, this way. I've been to see Archie already.
Jerr's gonna be like, hold on, slow down. I'm still trying to fix the elemental that's in that canister.
What do you mean by fix the elemental?
It's sick. I'm trying to help it get better.
Can you do that better if it's in a body? Because I can sure communicate with it better, I think, if it's in a body.
I guess.
Are there any technicians that were with the group?
Well, there's the two that he shot.
I only shot one and I downed it.
Obviously more that came to check it out. There was
No, that was never
gunfire.
said.
Well, it never was said.
They just went into siren mode and then they stopped.
I would have come to check it out because there was gunfire in the hospital.
They're just smarter than an android.
And who runs towards the gunfire?
I would imagine Sam would.
Okay. But I mean, like, do these elementals run towards the gunfire?
Probably not.
Anyways, I was asking to see, because Julian then would point to one of the technicians and is like, "Take us there."
Go ahead and make a command or persuasion roll.
Persuasion, I like that much better than command.
I'll be like, still, slow down.
Oh, gosh!
What were you saying about liking that better?
So I rolled a 14. My rolls today have been awful. With the exception of when I use fate points.
Alright, Jeff.
No.
We'll go ahead and allow it.
Okay.
So the technician gives you directions to the room where Archie is staying.
Sam, what's with the darkness?
Just in case.
Okay.
It's not around us, it's back down the hallway a bit.
Yeah,
This place has been a little off today.
since we got here.
Today.
As they're starting to head down the hallway, there were two technicians, right?
Correct.
So Julian's going to point to the other and is like, and him on the ground, he should probably be locked up somewhere for at least the time being.
You're going to the lion house. So they get a gurney, strap Chime down, roll him off, and then the other one leads you to the Archie room. The Jughead room is next door.
Down the halls to Calvin and Hobbes' room, and the Peanuts room. We don't visit the Far Side room.
We don't talk about the fireside room. There's a lot of cow udders in that room.
This is the animal preserve.
Preserving what?
Apparently cow udders. You know, you go to these hunters' houses, they have all their mantle pieces.
Yeah, oh god.
It's just udders hanging from the wall. Taxidermied udders.
So anyway,
I talked to the technicians. So, what else needs to happen for Archie to be Archie again?
the software is finished compiling. We're just waiting for the available elemental.
This one, I
Julian
checked
holds up the canister, just like, you mean this?
Has it been treated?
The root virus is gone, but it's still sick.
Gosh.
Oh.
I pull out the jar with the root virus. The root virus is right here. What does Sam do?
Oh my gosh, yeah. So Julian would immediately look at Sam and make sure he's nowhere in between Sam and Jerr.
Sam's going to start by just taking a couple steps back and... Contained?
Contained.
Okay.
I don't know what to do to get rid of it yet. but this is it contained.
Okay.
What exactly does it look like?
Mud.
Same as like as far away from you as she can get and still be in the same room. Just like watching, like waiting for
Something terrible to happen.
Yeah. It might be actually like looking around for some kind of weapon or something to throw.
Garrett puts it away. The root virus is clear from this elemental, but it still feels sick. And I haven't had a chance to work on it properly. I'm surprised I was able to get the root virus out.
So it's not completely ready, is what you're telling me.
I don't know. Is that all that needed to happen? Was the root virus to be gone?
But you're saying it's still sick?
I don't know. It feels like it's got a mental issue or something. Give me a few minutes to look it over again.
Julian sighs. Big. He's like, do it. Because we're standing around doing absolutely nothing.
Well, I was calming Chine down before you came and knocked him out. But now that he's out of the way, I can do this without the threat of a gun over my head. Unless you're going to pull yours out.
Where's my gun, Sam?
They took it from me when I was held prisoner.
Gave him a gun?
What were you held prisoner for?
Beats me.
Maybe, I don't know. Anyways, stop wasting time. He sets the canister right in front of Jerr and is like, do it, now.
You need to calm down too.
Just do it. Stop telling me to calm down and do what you're supposed to do, healer. We're standing around talking instead of doing. So far, talking has done us no good. I can see why you were part of Healing Hands. Action, action, action. Move, move, move. Or this is going in Archie without anything else being done to it. Yes, that's Julian right now. What are you waiting for? Do it!
$15.
Okay.
Do I succeed?
Yeah. How much research have you ever done into Android health?
Android health?
Yes.
None.
Okay. There's something wrong, but you don't know what the name of it would be.
Okay. Does it feel like if someone were having split personality?
No, that's definitely there too, but there's an actual, like, illness
An illness?
rather than, like, a mental condition. There's,
So it's like it has a cold or something?
like, a flu, yeah, something along those lines.
Okay. And since the root is out of the way, I can tell that this is something different from
Yes, correct. This is not the root.
rolling my extra normal. 16. Then my medicine. My heal others.
Nice.
Jeff's been on fire today. It's
I was
like
gonna say,
Jeremy
from
and
where
Jeff have swapped rolling a bit.
I know, yeah.
From where I'm sitting, it didn't look nice. I see a 4 and 2 1s.
Well, there was a 6 over there and another 6 and
Okay.
6 on the wild.
Nice.
So
21 to heal the flu, basically. Am I at least able to, like, separate it?
Yeah. You're able to heal it. It's something called integration syndrome.
Integration syndrome.
does he know that?
If you were explaining, like, the symptoms that you saw
Yeah.
to the technician,
Okay.
they would tell you that it's integration syndrome.
Okay.
And what does that do? That's Julian to the technician.
Well, it's basically negative reaction that happens sometimes when an elemental is put into an android for the first time. Like, if we've never been in a canister before, it can be like a side effect that happens.
Oh. And what are the symptoms of that? How does it manifest in the android?
It can sometimes manifest as outbursts, changes in mood, sudden and overwhelming use of extra normal abilities.
Yep, Jones, remember that flame jet that went past his head?
So, the root's gone. It's got its cold under control.
Does it feel any different, Julian?
Are you connected to it?
Yeah.
Does it feel calmer or more stable?
And so he's gonna go back and talk to it again, telepathically. So it's like, so you're able to tell me now?
There's still some sort of communication block there, but you can tell that physiologically it feels much better. Like it's burning a healthier color in your mind?
As healthy as a fire elemental can be.
Right. Well, I mean, like there are different color flames.
Yes.
Like I imagine it was a sickly green color with the root.
Green. Yeah.
Like it was burning chemicals that are just bad.
You know, like
Yeah.
a green and purple and
Like when you stick styrofoam into
Oily.
a campfire.
Exactly. But now it's got that bright orangish yellow hue where it looks like a healthy, good cleaning fire.
sounds good. Yeah, I like it.
All right, so Julian's still going to be pressing. It was like, so how are you communicating as another voice? Nothing.
No.
All right, he grabs the canister, motions over to one of the technicians. Is like, I think this is ready.
Okay.
Grabs it and says, "Is there a certain sequence that needs to happen to reinsert this? Because when it was removed, there's really no sequence. It was just
We pulled the
unplugged.
plug.
So can we just plug it back in?
Yeah, essentially.
Okay, open the door.
Okay. There is a little bit more involved, but we can walk you through it, or we can do it, and you can be in the room.
Okay. Can Serani be there too?
She's already here.
Well, she's here, but she's, not here. I can understand how she can be here. She's a computer program. She's code. We saw that. She was even in another Android unit. So, we, collectively, our group, has a little bit more trust for Serani at this point.
Okay.
Where does Serani need to be back in working shape?
You can talk to her in this other room.
If we can just talk to her, that's fine. So we can speed this along. Because we should do this now before I change my mind.
1 moment.
Jen rolls his eyes.
Archie. Serani is back in the dog park.
Okay. Archie's just playing with all the dogs. There's a dog pile going on right now. He's sitting on the grass, and we got Odab over here licking his face, and then we got other dogs biting his shoe off, and then stuff like that.
Sounds like the puppies are being rather rambunctious. Serani says, all right, it looks like everything is ready. So, in just a few moments, you're going to be awake.
He shakes off the dogs and stands up and says, once again, I'm ready.
All right, I'm going to leave you now, and I will see you on the other side.
See you soon.
Serani, actually, the door to Serani's room opens, and she comes through. She's like, you wanted my help?
Julian's like, Serani?
Yes.
Are you actually you this time? Because we encountered you before, but it was apparently Archie. The sick version of Archie.
Yes. That's been taken care of, yes.
Alright. And he holds up the canister and he's like, you know why we initially removed this?
I do, yes.
There's multiple reasons it seems like it needs to go back.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not fully okay with that. However, we need some answers. Or more specifically, I do.
Serani holds out her hands. May I?
And slowly hands it over to Serani.
Serani takes the canister and walks into
Julian follows.
Archie's room and begins the procedure.
While that's happening, I'm going to go over to Attack and say, do you know of any way of destroying this root virus?
Jeff, you about scared me half to death.
It sounded like you said I will move over to attack.
Oh,
We're all just like, I'm like, oh no!
Where did this come from?
the root virus.
Pretty much.
No, I go over to Attack and a tech
A tech.
Technician.
Technician.
try and See if they know a way of disposing of this virus.
No, they don't. It's brand new, so they still have to figure out how to properly dispose of it. Vaccinate against it. Hopefully it won't mutate multiple times.
Because I don't want to hold on to it.
We can put you in contact with the head of the hospital. We can pass it off to our research division.
I'd feel better if there were some way to destroy it.
Wouldn't everybody?
Yes.
Yes. It's likely the best way to do that is going to be somebody who can't be infected by it. A common or an eight in an air-gapped room.
Are there any commons on your staff?
We'll work it out. We'll go ahead and transition over to what's happening in the other room.
Okay. Wake up, Archie.
The dog park has disappeared. All of the dogs have one by one just kind of faded away. It's kind of like they drift away on a digital breeze. The darkness is replaced by warmth, a feeling of coming to life. You start hearing things first. You can hear Sarani's voice, which is a nice welcome relief because Sarani has been guiding you through this process. But you can also hear Julian's voice in the background as well. And it sounds like they're talking about how long it's going to take and what to expect when you're fully booted up. Eventually, you feel aware enough to be able to open your eyes.
Am I laying on a table?
Hmm?
So who's around me?
Tech, Sarani, and Julian.
Archie's gonna sit up.
You got that funky mouth feel after, you wake up and it's like, ah.
Sarani, where are we now?
We are in the animal preserve.
He begins to continue to look around.
Julian's on the other side of the table, opposite Sarani.
Right now he's got his legs facing, his body facing
Right.
Sarani. Sarani, I gotta find the others. Gotta tell them we have to go back.
My question is going to be: since there is a more of an integrated connection with a android and the elemental, because as soon as Archie would sit up, Julian would start to try and communicate with the elemental. Would that be a sensation that the android would feel?
Yes.
Okay.
So, Archie, Julian is trying to communicate with your elemental, and it feels pretty funky.
Archie's gonna physically shiver, like a chill went up his spine.
So Julian is asking that same question again. It's like, now that you're back inside of a body, how were you connected to another elemental, or were you just mimicking the voice? Or is that elemental around?
I'll go ahead and answer for the elemental at this point, because it's a little hard to communicate what I was trying to get done. I wasn't trying to channel another elemental. There was no other elemental. There's a conduit between the elemental, me, and you. And I was using a memory of another fire elemental.
So you're accessing my memories?
Yes.
I don't like this at all.
Well, you never asked if I like it that you access me all the time.
I don't access your memories. I talk to you. I communicate, like beings should. But since you're not a coexister, I wouldn't expect you to actually maybe understand that concept.
I was just trying to communicate the only way that I could.
All right, well, now you can communicate a little better. Let the record show I don't like it. But apparently it's necessary. He drops a connection. And you hear a big sigh from behind Archie. Julian just he's wiping sweat from his face.
Huh. Wish you had spoken up sooner. I would know that sigh anywhere. The frustration. Hi, Julian, he says before he turns back around to face Julian. I knew you'd come to save me.
I did.
Now listen. Where's BR? Or I guess we call
Bear?
him Bear. Yeah.
He had to get some healing of his own, and he's up at what I guess you guys call the temple. But he seems to be Bear.
He always is. We have to go grab him. We have to go.
Bear says he wants to stay.
You did?
He did.
Archie shakes his head. Well, I trust him. Like I said, it's time to go.
Go where?
How about I answer questions on the way? Just follow me. He gets up and starts to
And
walk
Julian
out.
holds his finger up in there and is like, I'm not so sure that's going to be the way it goes down because I don't know how much memory you retain. I don't know how much our group actually knows who Archie really is.
I see. Well, we have a way to go to Consiglio.
You want to go back?
There's something there that's mine. Like I said, we have a long journey, Julian.
Yours as in your programmings or yours as in the elementals? Because that makes a big difference whether I say we should go back or not.
I think it's safer that we answer these questions on the way.
I think it's safer that we know the answer to that question before we set out. Otherwise, you might not have everybody want to go with you. Because if it's the elemental that wants something going back, I'm going to say have fun.
Do you want me to answer these questions or not?
I wouldn't have asked them.
Well, you have.
The 4 answers.
Something of mine is in Consiglio. That's all I can tell you at this moment.
Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Rashomon, a land where spirits roam and witches rule. 3 women are embroiled in a divine plot, and it is up to them to uncover why. Join the adventures of the Broadswords at thebroadswords.com.
And here we are.
He's going to turn to Sarani. He's like, Sarani, what's going on here?
The elemental that Archie went to Consiglio with is still there.
Okay.
I think that's what he wants to go get.
Archie, your original elemental is what you want to go back and get. Correct?
That's correct. See, that would have been a simple answer if you had just followed me.
It was a simple answer 2 seconds ago when Sarani said it.
We could have been 10 steps closer to Consiglio.
But now there are others of us that might want to go back. You gotta understand. Okay, the elemental that's powering you right now causes a lot of problems for Consiglio. You know that, obviously. And what I can only assume now is that personality of that elemental is bleeding through, not wanting to give information to what it considers as lesser beings. You got members of our group that came here with you that are not going to want to follow that kind of leadership, if you want to call it that. So you need to disclose what we're actually doing and what we need to do with that elemental so we can collectively come up with a plan and not blindly follow. Because Consiglio was previously all about blindly following.
But isn't that what trust is?
We're still working on ironing some things out, says Sarani.
And he's saying this to Sarani. When would Archie absolutely need to leave on this mission?
Honestly, sooner rather than later. I mean, Archie does have that right, but, you know, there is some time to provision to get ready, to prepare, maybe to communicate effectively with all the team members.
Julian, from what I remember of you and your crew on this journey here to the Animal Preserve, I feel you are the only one I can trust.
Julian is taken aback by it. He's like, okay.
Archie takes a step forward.
Trying to take a step back.
I see something in you that I used to see in myself. Please help me find my elemental. Will you do this with me?
Julian's going to take another step back, and he's going to throw his hands up in the air, and he's going to be like, hold on. Turns to Serrani, and he's like, I don't know if I can do this right now. Is there a way to know for sure we can just access strictly programming and not the elemental side? Because for reasons, years and years of reasons, of what went on in Consiglio, I don't know if I want to be around that elemental. And I really don't feel that it is going to be efficient for us to be second-guessing every step of the way, whether it's programming or elemental influence that we are following and getting information from.
Unfortunately not. But, Archie, maybe if we could have a word real quick.
I suppose.
Takes Archie by the elbow and ducks around back into the room.
So they went further into the air gap term.
Yeah.
Julian is going to go back out to where Sam and Jerr are at that point.
I understand your sense of urgency, and it's coming from a good place. But listen to the concerns.
Am I not healthy enough for this? You know how strong I am.
Yes. But there is growth in giving. You don't burn all of the fire at once. You nurture the coals. You don't flood the riverbed. The stream follows the course.
Yes, but the stream also doesn't wait.
Archie's got comeback.
Did you not say, in a tone that it was imperative?
It is. But if you want your friends to help, you're going to have to be the shaping river, not the raging flood. There are jagged stones, especially Chine, especially Julian. Jagged stones. If you want to find suppleness, you have to wear away the edges so that the stream can pass smoothly. And that takes time. That's not something that's immediate.
I understand. I understand completely.
Urgency needs to be tempered with compassion.
You can't fix something without the tools, I understand.
Now, they're more than tools. That might be something you need to work on.
I never did play well with others, did I?
Your water elemental did. I don't know about Nidog.
You got me there. Alright, I'll give them their time. And Archie's gonna turn around and walk back into the room.
Okay.
Julian didn't say a word when he came back in. He didn't insert himself into any conversations that were going on. He just sort of leaned up against one of the control consoles there, and he has his lighter out. He's just kind of flicking it open, lighting it, flipping it closed, and he's just kind of like staring at the floor.
Like a nervous habit.
I mean, we can see, though.
Oh, yeah, you can see what's going on.
Yeah, we can see into the room.
Yeah.
So we can... Okay.
But Julian's not looking back into the room.
Could those of us outside of the room hear what was going on inside? Not the Serrani Archie exchange, but the
exchange with Julian.
Yeah.
I would imagine so.
Okay.
I would have been distracted brainstorming with the...
You're trying to figure out, like, all the things you need to do to get
a virus dead.
The virus... Well, yes.
Archie's gonna shove his left hand into his pocket, run his fingers through the back of his hair, and say to the open air, and not to anyone specifically, you all deserve some answers. I'm ready to sit down and give them to you.
All right. So how about we go somewhere where we can actually have a conversation? Is there a place around here we can all sit down and talk this out? Figure out if we're going back to Consiglio and how we're going to get there?
I know the perfect place. The dog park.
Yeah, I think that sounds great.
I have some concerns.
About the dog park?
About us all being here. Some of us are not here.
We should get Chine.
Well, I'm concerned about Chime versus Archie here. Does Chime need to know that?
Is there some
Same.
problem here?
Chime.
You have memories. You should know that there is some problem. I'm sorry. Archie may not have those memories. The elemental does have those memories. So, whether the elemental is disclosing those memories to you, Archie.
Can I ask out-of-game question?
Uh,
Does the elemental android bond work similar as far as communication as the human elemental or proxy elemental bond? Is it like a conversation that has to happen, or is it like
I would
shared
think it would be
knowledge?
different.
We said it was...
It would be more of a shared knowledge thing between the elemental and the
Okay.
chassis, because
We already said that the elemental more heavily influences the personality of an android
Okay.
than the personality of a human.
Okay.
the android has programming,
yeah.
but
Yeah.
it doesn't have a human personality to conflict with the.
In fact, as a double-booting android, Archie would be the most human of the androids because it has that competing factor.
So it would be a knowledge, but not necessarily an understanding.
Correct.
So
And I think that's actually something that Ellie is playing pretty perfectly
Yeah.
at the moment.
yeah, and that's what I wanted to make sure before I answer, because I think Sam, with my relationship with Shade, would have a pretty decent understanding of that kind of game. Because of your elemental's past relationship with Chime is having a hard time separating you from that. Chime wants to kill you, namely the elemental part of you. But I'm with Jerr. Does Chime need to know
Does Chime need to know what?
that it's Choler's elemental?
Narag.
I mean, he's immediately going to question it because he knew that Archie did.
And we just tell him it's a different one. It's not the first time we'll be lying to him.
It'll be the first
Withholding-
time I'll be lying to him.
Withholding a fact for his protection is different than telling him a false fact.
For his protection.
Yes.
So it's still lying. It's just one type of lying you're comfortable with, the other type you're uncomfortable with.
We never told him a lie.
No, we just lied to him.
We didn't lie to him.
I think you and I have a different understanding of what lying is. And I think I would know the best.
Yes, you would.
So you're not comfortable with telling him an untruth. You are comfortable with just not telling him anything at all. So why don't we just not answer his question when he questions?
He's going to have questions. That's obvious. He's going to have questions.
Why don't you let me be the one to light a chime? Then nobody else has to. I take care of a lot of the other dirty work around here.
Julian visibly seems to be getting more and more frustrated at the direction this conversation is heading.
I think he's going to intuitively know because he was knocked out. He's not stupid.
Nobody said he's stupid, but he can be convinced that, I don't know, that Julian got his way in the end and it was killed, or we found another one.
But is the elemental going to be able to resist the urge to pick at Chime?
That's a good question, Archie.
Will you be able to?
I think you should trust that I'm stronger than I ever have been. Yes.
I could trust that Archie is stronger, but I also know that the elemental now is probably stronger.
Well, it's not diseased in the metaphysical anymore. It's a pure elemental again.
All I have is my word.
Good for me.
All we have is experience with the elemental.
Julian visibly does that, kind of gives a head glance back and side-eye cocked at Sam.
Hasn't that always been the case? I've trusted everything you guys have told me.
So let's back up to that conversation about lying.
And Archie, if you really can access the elemental's memories, you know that Chime is not the only one that has reservations.
Well, we all have a reservation.
Personal reservations.
Just because it's healthy doesn't mean it's not still twisted.
What are we going to do? Discard everything that's twisted and a little sick around here?
Says the thing that's a little twisted to stick around here.
You said you have experience with my elemental. Well, obviously you knew how to take it out. Yes, it's back in. But what's to say you couldn't take it back out again if it really comes to that?
Should we have to be looking over our shoulder to do that? I mean, I know we're accustomed to looking over our shoulder for various reasons, just by nature of where we come from. But we were supposed to be, and he kind of gives a side-eye glance at Sam, walking away from that and not having to look over our shoulders.
I think the only way we're not going to be looking over our shoulders is to drop out of this fight altogether.
And Julian sort of kicks up off the console that he was leaning up against and sort of walks to the middle of the room and says, you know what? It's probably the first honest thing I've heard out of you in forever. And walks out of the room. And you hear him, he's like, I'm going to go check on Katari.
Okay. So I'll tell Chime something. Jerr, are you good with that?
I think we're just going to have to deal with Chime once he is back with us.
Okay. We go to this dog park, and we have somebody deliver Chime to the dog park, and we all have a conversation there.
Sarani,
Mm-hmm.
can you send out a message for Chine?
I'm actually going to go check on Katari as well.
All right, I'll come with you.
Okay. So Sarani will go ahead and send a runner to wherever they took Chime.
Before you walk out of the room, Jerr, Archie's going to look over his shoulder and say, let me know how Katari is. That's the person I was carrying the entire way, right? With a snarky attitude.
You're welcome to join us and find out for yourself, I say as I'm leaving the room.
Archie pulls a cigarette out of his back pocket, bites his finger, bites it, and says, all right.
It was a different time.
And follows Jerr.
So Julian would get to Katari's room first.
Yup. So you get there?
And
There are guards at the door.
I mean, can you see inside the room?
Is the door open or is the door
The
closed?
door is open, yes.
Okay.
There are guards at the door.
Making an impasse?
No, they're just keeping an eye.
Okay. Julie kind of gives them a puzzled look and walks into the room.
Tari's in the bed. Her head is completely covered in this mass of tree roots and clods of dirt.
Is there anybody else in the room?
No.
Julian's going to kind of take a step back, look around, but he can tell that's Katari.
Yes. Like the tree roots are spiraling around her body, like her arms and her legs, around her neck, and like they formed a basket around her head. Her face is clear, but
Okay, he's going to peek his head sort of back out the door at one of the guards and was like, I thought she was cured. What is this?
she was attacked. Someone tried to kill her. And this was her body's natural response.
Someone tried to kill her?
Someone tried to kill her.
Jerr would hear this because we weren't that far
How?
behind Julian.
Someone stabbed her in the back of the neck.
So you guys round in the corner as this is happening?
Yeah.
You see Julian walk out of the room. He kind of turns to face Jerr and Sam, reaches into one pocket, pulls out a lighter, flicks it on, reaches into another pocket, unfolds a note, and you recognize a blue spot on the note.
Mm-hmm.
Puts it in the palm of his hand, starts to burn it.
Connect to the earth elemental.
No, this is fire. I'm dropping.
Jerr's gonna be upset and be very suspicious of Sam. Like, almost certain that it was Sam that did it.
Fair enough. Is it to connect to fire? Oh, and I got a 6. And a 1, of course.
You roll a 6 and then you roll a 1.
I needed a 23, so I definitely got it. Because, wow, that's a lot of ones.
That is a lot of ones.
That's 23 right there with another 6 plus 2. So,
31?
yeah, 31. Nice. I'm spending it right away.
Okay.
Now, this is a fire elemental in a kilometer radius,
Okay.
not a 100-meter radius.
Okay.
This is why I have this many dice, because I need 18D. So, question. Is there a free fire elemental within a kilometer radius of the hospital?
You mean like a
Non-bonded?
non-bonded? No.
No, there isn't?
No.
Okay. What is the closest one then? One of the guards?
Yes.
Okay. He's going to telepathically persuade the guard to pretty much be an elemental body, pretty much consume himself in fire and create a barrier so that Sam and Jerr cannot get to Katari.
Okay. Basically Human Torch it.
Yep. It's a 1, thank you.
I don't know if that's...
Yeah, I don't know if it does either. 51.
And your target number?
It's a persuasion, so it's a opposed willpower.
Oh. Yeah, I that might work. Yeah, and so a big old fireball just bursts out of one of the guards.
Sam jumps back away from the guard.
And with that sort of wall, Julian's going to peace out.
Just run the opposite
Run
way.
the opposite direction out of the hospital.
Sam, are you staying in the hospital? Jerr, are you staying in the hospital? Like where the fire is? Are you staying?
I might follow Julian.
You can get past me.
Because you're on the...
I'm on...
You're on the opposite side.
So you are...
Let's imagine it this way.
Yeah, so I guess I thought the flame thing was at the door of Katari's room.
Well, no, I was
Guards were here.
in the hallway.
Okay, so...
Impasse in the hallway, not just into the room.
Okay, then I would probably... Yeah, I don't know what I would do there.
And I forgot to roll this last time as well. 6. That guard now has +2
Do all of his rolls.
Yeah.
All right.
So basically, Julian was doing that just to make his exit so that no one would follow him.
Sounds good. All right. All of a sudden, Chime just sits up.
Yeah, I don't even know where you
I was
put my
hoping to
body,
say
so.
going behind the two.
You're at the lion place.
The lion place.
Yeah, where they have the lions in the cage.
Lions
All right.
and tigers and bears.
Oh my. Oh my, what is going to happen next session, which is going to be the last few episodes and the finale of the season. Stay tuned. Hope you enjoy it.
Thank you for listening to Bone Throwers Theater. Our cast is Aaron, Ellie, Jeff, Jeremy, Johnny, and Jordan. We are releasing this podcast under a Creative Commons Attribution, Non-Commercial, No Derivatives 3.0 Unported license. That means you can share the podcast, but please do not modify it or try to gain financially from it. If you would like to visit our website, you can do so at bonethrowerstheater.com. If you would like to send us an email, you can do so at bonethrowerstheater@gmail.com. Our Twitter handle is bonethrowerstheater. You can also look us up on Facebook and subscribe to our YouTube channel. And until next time, may the bones fall ever in your favor. This has been a Nerd Circle podcast production.